Well, everything that we did on this movie, because we did it, the next version of it, the 2.0 version of the virtual camera, will be that much better, that much more influential, because we did it in essence the hard way. And the next version, which we're going to use a game engine, we're going to be able to use the 3D virtual reality goggles and things, where now you could wear the goggles and you could be in the middle of this set and you could look up and see the animal that you're supposed to be talking to and all the rest of it, where we had that idea, but the equipment wasn't ready for it yet. So we had an idea and we did the goggles, except they only had like little square insets. So it became uncomfortable to wear, and the idea was still sound, and it was still a good idea, but just the equipment wasn't up to snuff, so it was like, screw it, let's not use it. And the next version of it, so everything we did was a refinement. We did certain refinements over what we did on Avatar, the virtual cinematography system I worked on, and I've done virtual cinematography on every film I've ever done after that. Starting with Aviator, which was inspired Avatar, and then every film I've ever done, I've always used a virtual camera and the ability to edit on the spot to enhance the sort of the analog quality of shooting a real movie. But it was never perfected the way I think we're going to do it the next go around, because now we have the impetus to do it. We have, here's what we did before and it was really good, and here's what would have made it that much like a post-mortem of it, here's what would make it really good, and now let's just go do that. So I guess the answer to your question is, the new version, we would have learned a tremendous amount from what we did, even though it was successful, and the next version of virtual cinematography will be that much more easy for a live action director, actor, cinematographer, editor, anybody, production designer, to step into this world and be able to use everything they've ever learned, and be very comfortable making what amounts to them a virtual film, but to the audience it looks like a real film. And so that is, that's kind of an exciting innovation to come out of this. Is now this is a very accepted way of making a movie, and obviously that's, success is what drives it. Well, the thing that drives me the most is what's driven me ever since I was little is, it's such an honor to work in the business at all. To be allowed to even play in this playground is you don't take it lightly. It's a very great opportunity to do things. And for me, going to the movies, you want to go see something you haven't really quite seen before. You want to tell a story you haven't quite told before. And you can never master it. I mean, I can't. And so every time you do it, it's like, well, Titanic was it became a phenomenon. I wish I knew. I'd be a pretty wealthy guy if I knew what formula makes those things work. So every time out, you're not like, oh, I'm just going to make another Titanic and make another couple $1 billion at the box office, and everything's going to be great. It's like you could do you swing for the fences again and just miss totally. So the mystery of what makes a good movie, what makes an audience respond, is brand new every time out of the gate. There's no formula that, anything that's formulaic, you've done it before, you're doing it again, the results are expected, makes it mundane, and it's exciting if you're going to fail. And you're telling a story you haven't told before, using a technique that isn't generally accepted. And it's hard to do. If it was easy to do, A, everybody would be doing it, and two, it would make it less interesting to do. You want to, if you want to go explore, you don't want to basically explore something that somebody else did, because what's the point? You want to explore something that no one's been to. For the reason is that you enjoy the journey of the exploration. That's the fun part, is the study of it, the making of it. And I'm sure one day it'll get tiring, because they are a slog to get through, but because the riches are not the riches of money and all that stuff, which is great, and success, which is great, or artistic success, or an award or two or whatever, that's always gravy. It's the satisfaction you have in yourself that you've done the very best that you can do. There's a quote that I always remember, and I think it was what drives me, is I was attributed to Kennedy. John F. Kennedy said it. It's like, how do you define happiness? It's full use of your powers along the lines of excellence. So if you use the best that you can do along the trying to achieve something that's excellent, and you get to even partially achieve it, it makes you happy, and it makes you feel fulfilled, and feel like you contributed, And, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't contribute that much. It's just a piece of entertainment you watch for a couple hours and hopefully inspires the next generation to make a movie because they like that one, like I like The Godfather or Goodfellas, and then the next generation, we try to make The Godfather and Goodfellas the rest of our lives. Maybe it does that for somebody else, and if it does, that's as big an honor as anything else. So there's everything is interesting about it, and I'll always be an apprentice. I'll never master it, and because I'll never master it, it never gets old or boring. My usual advice, without sounding pat, because it's all true, it's the 10,000 hour rule, that, to get good at anything, to get proficient or professional at anything, you need to just do it over and over and over again. And every time you do it, you go, oh, next time I do it, I'll do it better this way. And so you really need to do it. So now everybody has the tools at their disposal. You have a laptop, you have a camera, you have an iPhone, you have, you could color correct all your material. You can do everything that we used to do at tremendous expense, and very rarely, because you didn't get the opportunity to do it every day. You got it every once in a while when a project came up that somebody allowed you to work on. You could do this. You can make a movie a day at home with 3 people, 2 people. You could do it yourself if you wanted to. And every time you do it, you get better and better and better. And when someone gives you the opportunity, it's sort of what luck is. It's opportunity meets, the ability to pull it off. When that opportunity arises, you now have this ability, and they marry together, and you get what amounts to good luck. And if somebody looks at even myself or any of the people here at this conference as starry-eyed or success or whatever, it's the opportunity. You've got this great opportunity, but we were prepared for the opportunity, and you achieved what people want to do because of you had this preparation work. So there's that. And the other thing that I really strongly suggest is that don't do anything. If you listen to somebody like me, don't do what I do, because that's the way I do it, and it only really works for me. And no one will care that you could do something like I did it. They only care that you could do something like you did it, because you're the unique one. You're the one who has a different viewpoint of how things should look, or your particular vision of it. Don't imitate anybody else. You can emulate them, as we all do. We study from the masters and all that stuff, but what the world is interested in is your uniqueness. So you take your uniqueness, your drive to just do it over and over and over again, because you're never really satisfied with your own work. And when opportunity arises, you can't help but be successful. No one can predict if you're going to make $1 zillion or any of that stuff, and that's all superficial. But you will make a good movie. You will make a good film, and a good photograph, a good piece of animation. You'll do something good because of the fact that you've practiced. You bring yourself to the party, and the only way you're going to see a film by you is because you did it, and that's of tremendous value. And so that's my recipe for succeeding is do that.